Hola and welcome to the Downshift, hosted by Huppy, Lockie, Schwags and myself, KT. In this episode, we preview the San Paulo Grand Prix in Brazil, where we will congratulate Charles Leclerc on his engagement to Alexandra Samle.
Yeah.
Apparently that's the way you pronounce it, so I did my research.
That's what I've been told. I hope I haven't made a dick of myself.
And now the real pronunciation is...
Alexandra, I apologise if we've all... destroyed your surname.
I'm sure someone will tell us how badly we
all
butchered
pronunciation complaints, please forward them to Christian at the Downshift.
Christian at the Downshift, thank you.
We'll also delve into our thoughts on the Drivers' Championship, debate the buzz over whatever has happened to or whatever has been done to Oscar Piastri, and we'll round it out with our predictions. All this and more as it's...
Lights out.
Drop the clutch.
And let's get racing.
Hello and welcome to the Downshift as we congratulate Charles Leclerc on his engagement to Alexandra Samle.
Yeah.
So as we get into this race for the Grand Prix, we only have 4 races left to go. So we head to Brazil to the Autodromo Rodrigues Carlos Pace as we hopefully have just as an exciting race as we did last year.
You've had a great season with pronunciation.
Can't wait for Melbourne.
Can't wait for this to be over.
Can't wait for Melbourne next year.
Yeah.
Australia.
Where we welcome you to Albert Park.
Melbourne.
We know how to pronounce that one. Sorry, mate.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm sure I'll find a way to stuff it up. So, but Happy, look, as we get into this, I'm sure you're going to be really excited to see how the broadcasters handle the fact that they now need to combine racing with models, girlfriends, and now fiancés.
Thank you for bringing this up. I mean, we've spoken about this a few times throughout the season. We've really had a crack at the F1 broadcast because they would frequently cut to people standing in the garage and we'd miss out on track action. And last week, we didn't bring this up in the last episode, but last week there was a notable absence of cuts to models, wives, girlfriends, whatever. Like we really stuck to track action. So I'm pretty sure F1 started to get the hint that lots of media outlets, including ourselves, were complaining about this. But now there will be a massive, massive quandary because they will be dying to cut to Charles's fiance. But they'll have to change
the big ring.
They'll have to change the super. Normally it's model/girlfriend. Now what's it going to be? Fiance?
Fiance?
They're going to have to fit in
won't they
fiancé
just have to
or
wait
something.
for a break where, like, there's nothing happening for 10 seconds, quick flash over to her, come back again?
Yeah,
As
they'll be
opposed
trying to
when
get
someone's
luck
trying
at
to
this
do an
race.
undercut or a change. I
They've
mean,
got to get a
as
shot of
Dan
the
was
ring or
saying,
something,
this could be a procession. It could be
So
exciting.
they'll be
weekend.
hoping for a safety car then.
We'll see.
Exactly.
We'll see. Yep.
Well, we'll get into that in a few moments as we look at last year's race. But don't forget that we now have local hero Gabriel Bortoleto, who will have the entire home crowd behind him as the Brazilian favourite. So it'll be great to see Gabby have actually a good race here.
Won't make a difference to his finishing position, but yeah, it'll be good to see him get some support.
See, I was thinking it, but I didn't say it.
So positive, so positive.
Oh, no.
Good luck, Gabby. We're rooting for you.
They've had a
But
few
could it get any
rounds where
worse?
they've been promising. They've been promising over a few rounds, so hopefully this is one of them. That would be good.
Well, it couldn't get any worse. I mean, he's competing with Franco Colapinto, who's 19 points behind him.
Strong
really
local
competing,
support.
though?
Keep the momentum going. Yeah.
So, look, for this episode, we're going to try something a little bit different. And what we're going to do is I've actually jumped onto the sim and done a little bit of a drive-through in regards to the tracks. We'd love for our listeners, and actually it's really an opportune moment to say it's really great to see a little bit of tete-a-tete, a little bit of passion from our subscribers. Lockie, you and I were just talking about that before.
Apparently, yes, some of them are not as big Oscar fans as what you and Hubby are. So there's a little bit
But they
interaction
love
between
Austria.
some of them.
Surprising.
Apparently.
Anyway.
Yeah. But anyway, moving along.
Moving along. So, look, throw some of that passion our way in regards to some comments and feedbacks on the video here.
I was just going to say, before we get into I appreciate that you asked Lachlan and I to do a lap around the track before you had a go of it, but we couldn't finish it. We couldn't get through the first 3 corners. So
Well, you hit a
we
track
let you
marshal. That
take
was
the
the
reins.
problem.
We were describing those
Yeah.
walls pretty well down. Concrete, solid,
did.
doesn't move when you hit
Grass.
it.
You
It's
can't
fine.
hit the
We
track
were able
marshals.
to point out the grassy areas for Max to use.
There's plenty of grass.
So
There was
extra
no track
points for our,
marshals for us to hit.
let's hope
Mm.
that's the case for this race. Let's jump into that after the drive-through. So stick with us and let us know what you think. G'day, Downshifters. As we prepare for the San Paulo Grand Prix in Brazil, we thought it'd be a different idea to take you for a bit of a hot lap around the Autodromo Jose Carlos pace, so you can get a feel for what it would look like for our Formula One drivers from the cockpit. For our listeners, I will try and be as descriptive as possible so we can take you along for the ride. So please bear with us as we trial this way of doing our track review. Now, commonly known as Interlagos, the suburb that sits between the two largest reservoirs in Brazil, we're seeing the Grand Prix fought out over 71 laps on a 4.3 kilometre track with 15 corners and 2 DRS zones. Now, typical of a pre-World War II type track, you'll see that this is a oval type formation with banked corners. The fastest lap time has been set by Valtteri Bottas back in 2018 with a 1 minute 10.54. So strap in as we prepare for a hot lap of Interlagos and talking you through what the drivers should be expecting. So as the drivers come to the start-finish line, we'll see them being in 8th gear before breaking into turn 1. Where we've got a change of elevation as the track drops downhill through the centre S's, 3 sweeping corners, which then lead into our first DRS zone. And you'll see the drivers getting to top gear again and approaching speeds above 300 kilometres an hour. Or down gearing into a sweeping left-hander, powering through the apex of the next corner before getting into sector 2, which is a serpentine type layout as we see the track snaking through multiple corners. And what's interesting here is that we're seeing a change in camber through these corners as well. So the driver's feeling the car movement and G-force left and right. You can see here through this hairpin, the driver's having to do a full lock to be able to get through that before powering out of the final corner into sector 3 before the last major corner, which then goes into a hill climb for the drivers, taking them towards the start-finish line. A beautiful sweeping left-hand corner on turn 15 as the drivers approach the DRS zone, powering again up to 8th gear and exceeding 300 kilometres an hour before then gearing down to repeat again through those centre S's. And we're back again. So as we were talking about just before, hopefully we won't see any marshals on the track. Team, we saw that from the Mexican Grand Prix, the official word out of it was that Liam Lawson should have been more diligent in regards to coming out onto the track. I think that's a bit of a harsh call. So,
Yeah,
Or possibly the
sweep under the
marshals
rug.
shouldn't have been running across the track. Or, whatever way you want to call it.
Exactly. Yeah. That's F1 trying to pass the buck. It was quite surprising. They should have just owned up to that. It was a horrible, horrible mistake to send marshals out on track.
But wasn't that the Mexican Motorsport Federation that was saying that, not F1?
Oh, it could have been. Yeah, you might be right.
yeah,
Sorry, F1.
yeah.
So I think there was probably a bit of blame being passed around and questions being asked, and there was a bit of ducking and weaving and
Quite possibly
just throw it back
communication
onto the
issues.
driver.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was a serious incident, like Liam would have had some consequences from that, but it clearly wasn't enough for him to get any consequences, nor should he.
No. I mean, he as a driver, he has to slow down in yellow flag sections or under safety car, which is what he did. But a Formula One car is still going surprisingly fast. If you're a marshal legging it across a pretty wide section of racetrack, you could see how quickly Liam was approaching. Like it was a dangerous situation.
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't want to be anywhere near the racing track when Formula One car's going slow around there even.
No.
I was just about to say I challenge someone, but I won't. Please don't do this at home. But you don't want to even run across your local highway with cars going at 100 kilometres an hour, and these guys are doing.
No, that's good advice. No, don't do that.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
look, this is what you come to the Downshift for: good, solid advice.
That's another public service announcement
Thank
from
you.
the Downshift.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Yes.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
But no, marshals should not be on the track unless there is a safety car controlling the flow of the race. It's just so. And look, as much as we put it on him, it's definitely not Punchy's fault.
They clearly knew the way they ran onto the track and ran off. They'd be running anyway to make it happen quickly. But yeah, anyway, onwards.
Onwards we go. So moving on to getting ready for the upcoming race, we'll take a look back at 2024. Now, do we remember anything from the 2024 race, team?
I think it was a wet race,
I
if I
don't.
remember correctly.
It was wet, yeah, and a mixed up grid, so it was quite exciting to watch.
Yeah, so look, we did see, notably from the 2024 race, we had a dramatic / confusing race start where we actually ended up with 2 formation laps after the first formation lap was abandoned, with one Lance Stroll spinning it off the track and then deciding to drive his car into the gravel. So he had the opportunity to turn the car around, get back onto the track and finish it. But no, he actually decided to drive into the gravel and cause a complete race stop. It caused some confusion then in regards to the reformation and some of the cars leaving under yellows as opposed to the green lights. So
Do we think
there
we'll
was
see that again this year, or do you reckon he's learned from that experience?
From memory,
taking
that's when
odds?
all the memes came out of Lance Stroll in the sand pit with the toys and everything. Was that the one?
Yeah, that was the one.
Let's hope we don't see that again.
But we did see some other notable mentions. Is we saw a 10-second penalty for Piastri for tapping Liam Lawson. We saw a red flag at lap 32 with a crash for Colapinto just sending it into the wall. And we even saw a black flag disqualification for Nico Hulkenberg after receiving outside assistance from the marshals who pushed him back on the track, which you're not allowed to do. I think one of the interesting points for us to discuss as we start to talk about what we potentially might see is we saw the first team orders from McLaren to allow Norris to pass Piastri as he was closer to Max for the Drivers' Championship. But ultimately, we saw a masterclass from Max Verstappen, who went from P17 all the way to take the win by 19.477 seconds over a double Alpine finish.
A big lead from Verstappen. That was a very solid drive. Yeah.
I just want to check, Dan, based on 2024 race results, have you added the Alpines into the hat for this weekend?
No, but that's a really good idea.
Finishes?
Unfortunately, the hat entries have been done, so you've missed a cutoff for alterations.
This is going to cost you points. Your chance to climb the ladder is
I would have put the entire field into the hat for this race.
I'd have to say, if it's going to rain a lot, then that's certainly going to mix it up. But if we're expecting dry weather, we'll get to the weather report.
That's coming up shortly.
We'll get to the weather report. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Personally, I wouldn't expect Alpines to be in the top 3 this weekend, but you never know.
No one did.
No. All right. So into 2025, this year we have a sprint race weekend. I know how you guys are all big fans of the sprint race. Looking forward to another one of those, KT.
Love it.
Can't wait.
I've already got the wall lined up so I can just bang my head against it repeatedly. So it's good.
Yeah, look, I'm not the biggest fan myself, but I look, we'll get to the weather, but if there is a bit of variability in the weather, at least we should see some interesting results from the sprint race. But the other thing is, leading into this race, of course, we only have 1 point separating the McLaren teammates. Max hot on their heels, so that will be an interesting thing to watch. Rain caused a real upset last year, so keen to see what the weather report's going to be. Lachlan, are we going to see a wet race, please? I hope we do, because it'll mix things up. But actually, no, I don't want a wet race, because I want Oscar to have the best chance possible of a good result here. So Let's see what happens.
Well, to
Stop
be fair,
dancing,
look,
Christian. No
I've
rain
got
I'm
good
dancing.
news.
I'm
Good
doing
news,
the rain
bad
dance.
news. No rain's going to fall after you dance like that, mate. Let's be honest. So, good news, bad news for your rain predictions here. So, Friday, we are not expecting any rain Friday. We are expecting it to be nice and sunny. Temperatures probably around about 19 degrees. Mild breezes, nothing to worry about there. So, all the practice and all that for Friday will be fine. Saturday, though, however, where we've got the sprint race and qualifying, cloudy, possible showers in the afternoon, which possibly won't affect the sprint race, but I think qualifying, we could have showers around that, which might make the track. I don't think it'll be wet, but it might be mildly moist. We could put it that way, which could prove a little bit of slippery cars for that. And
What
winds
about the
around
wind?
10 to 15, only 10 to 15 miles an hour, so not huge winds, but they will be shifting from north to south. So that could actually play a difference if the cars are used to head-on breeze all of a sudden coming as a tailwind. That could throw them out a little bit as well. But unfortunately, Happy, Sunday race day, 18 to 20 degrees, almost zero chance of rain.
Oh, that's
So,
frustrating. As a race fan,
which-
that's frustrating. You got to admit.
But to be fair, if it was going to rain, you'd almost put your money straight on Max Verstappen because he is a master in the wet weather. However, you will have then Piastri and Norris will have a better chance if the weather stays dry based on previous driving experience. So
Yeah.
we'll have to
So
see
what
how we
about-
go. But that, unfortunately, that's the weather prediction. So possible showers on Saturday afternoon, almost no chance of showers on Sunday.
So quali for the race, are you predicting some showers for quali or not?
They're predicting showers around that qualifying time. So sort of that 2 to 4 o'clock period, there is possible rain, but not necessarily for the sprint race. The sprint race might be dry.
Well, that
So
will
quality will
be
be
interesting.
5 p.m. So
Yeah, okay. Yep.
So first up, we got the championship battle between Oscar, Lando, and Max, and maybe Charles if you want to chuck him in there. But actually, no, yeah. But
Don't
we
think
weren't too keen to go there last week,
No.
were we?
no, George has got a better chance than Charles.
think-
We
I was gonna say, I
determined that
think
he didn't have a
George-
chance
Oh.
last week.
so. No.
I did see a thing where someone had worked out how George could win, and there was a lot of DNFs above him to make that happen.
That's a lot of banana peels
Almost
being thrown out the back of
almost
Max's
all
car.
DNFs above him. Yep.
Yep. I don't
I
think
think
so.
it's more
but-
down. Isn't the midfield battle where it's at the moment? Versus, I mean, the top three are okay, but isn't the midfield one where a bit more excitement in terms of the teams actually are?
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I
look,
mean, the
that's-
top end of town's done, isn't it? So
Well, from the team's point of view, but yeah, the actual drivers' championship's going to be a hell of a race. But yeah, I think the midfield battle, we've got a couple of contenders there, and it means a lot of money, prize money, for those top positions in the championship table.
Yeah, so if you look at it in regards to, this is between Williams, Racing Bulls, Aston Martin, Haas, and Kick Sauber. There's 51 points separating that field of 5 teams. So there's $40 million at stake here for Kick. If Kick was able to get past Williams, that'd be a $40 million pay increase for the end of the season.
No,
Not
I
a bad
wouldn't hold
little
my breath on that,
boost.
but I think they'd be happy if they could get above Aston Martin, to be honest.
Big boost. Yeah,
Well-
I can't see them catching Williams, but yeah, if they could get 2 or 3 positions ahead, which is absolutely doable. Like, it's a pretty tight little battle in that mid pack. Yeah, huge difference in prize money.
They're only 2 points behind Haas at the moment. They're only 9 points behind Aston Martin. So, I mean, it's, again, a good result, and a bad result for one of the others could just turn the tables.
So moving on to Bortoletto, the local hero, carrying on the Senna legacy. And hopefully he can do well.
Well, Sauber would be wanting that to happen because, with the crowd favourite, with all the passion behind him, that could be a real push to elevate his results. So,
Yeah, and if the grid's a bit mixed up in quali, maybe they can get up there and into Q3 or something, or at least one car up there and snag a few points from the weekend. That would be helpful, and it's always a boost for a driver when it's a home race. So I think we'll all be keen to see how Gabby gets along.
And we're looking at the end of the upgrades now at this time of the year with only 3 races to go. So everyone's done and dusted.
yeah, pretty much this is where they're all at. Red Bull had said that they just finished their upgrades about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that was helping Max, obviously. But now all eyes are on 2026 for the new regulations. So there's going to be $0 spent on the rest of the cars because you're seeing, developments are going to take at least a couple of weeks minimum to be able to do anything with the cars. You might see some wing changes based on, I mean, you look at, it's a higher downforce track at Brazil, so we can see that's where that does favour the McLaren. So you might see some of the other teams actually playing with the downforce.
Sorry, it favours the McLarens plural.
In theory. We'll just have
In
to
theory.
see if Oscar can
Well, this
get
will
a
be
bit of
interesting to see
his...
this weekend, won't it?
bit of his
What's
form
going on
back.
with those cars?
Yeah, well, that was a lot of the comments from our subscribers on socials on YouTube that were talking about the favouritism to or not against Piastri, where they're talking about the fact that they've both got the same car. It was Oscar who chose not to take the suspension upgrade.
Do you need your tinfoil hats first before we go so much further?
Alleged favouritism, we should say. Yes.
Allegedly. They were looking very closely at Oscar's car since Mexico, which was what the word was, because there was concerns as to whether or not, because of the crashes, whether or not there was damage to the chassis, or whether or not there's something wrong with the car currently. So we may see that they've been able to replace the chassis going into Brazil.
And I think with the last few rounds, you've got to say at this point that Lando looks like the favourite to take it out if he keeps going the way he's going. So I think if Oscar really wants to put his foot down and claw some points back, then he has to do something this round. It's going to get tough if there's only 3 rounds to go and Lando gets another 7 points or 5 points ahead of him or whatever he can do. So yeah, Oscar's got to pull one out of the bag.
To be fair, if you're Zach Brown, I think you've been looking at Lando as the favourite most of the season, haven't you?
Well, that's what people think. Yeah, Zach's had a pretty strong relationship with little Lando there for a long time, so it wouldn't surprise me.
I think the only thing to maybe not think that was the fact that Oscar got his contract first, but that could have simply been more to do with the timing of when the contracts were up for renewal.
Expiring.
I think so.
I was actually reading a analysis that was done by one Pablo Montoya over the week, and he actually looked at both the telemetry and the driving styles of both Oscar and Lando. And what he was talking about was the fact that Lando seems to be a little bit more erratic on the wheel. So it seemed, and whereas Oscar was driving very smoothly. So JP was actually talking about the fact that maybe it is the car needs a little bit more aggressiveness into the steering feedback, which is actually pulling out a little bit of extra performance, is why Lando's actually doing so well. And we saw Oscar when he was being interviewed last week saying, I've realized that I need to drive the car differently to the way I was before. So it may be that having unlocked that last week, he realizes that he's going to have to change his driving style to be a little bit more aggressive or a little bit more erratic with the handling. And maybe if he's able to get comfortable with that, we might see a change in the performance out of Piastri's car.
I'm not sure if he's had sim time or anything else to try a few things out, but he's certainly had plenty of time to review data and look at the differences. I saw a couple of graphs being published as well, and there were some small but key differences in the way they drove around the circuit last week. So plenty to learn from. I guess the question is, can Oscar adapt to that change and execute it like Lando seems to be really on top of that car at the moment?
Yeah.
Well, Oscar did post on socials this week that he has been hiding away in his secret hiding spot, which is his sim rig back at home. So he's obviously been running quite a few laps.
And that brings us on to the talk of penalty points. So we've got a few penalty points getting high up in the chart. Probably don't think it's going to make a lot of difference to this season, but Ollie's leading the charge at the moment.
We'll throw the graph up here, and we can actually see that Ollie Behrman, for his rookie season, has got 10 out of 12 penalty points. So
leading the penalty championship, rookie of the year. Well done.
Probably not the one you want to be winning, though, isn't it? Like out of all the things to win for the season, penalty points is probably...
He's the only one in red. He's got 10 out of a possible 12.
According to Christian's graph, anyway. But
and Lawson's down in 6 points, so he's clearly ahead of Lawson.
But he's got very famous company. I mean, Lance Stroll is up there with 7 penalty points. And what's interesting to see is both Oscar, Max, and Liam have got 6 penalty points. Not that that's going to make a massive difference for coming to the tail end of the season with only 4 races to go. I mean, you'd have to get.
Oh, you have to be doing dodgem cards for the last 4 rounds to get into trouble there. So I think it's an interesting graph in that
Liam with that.
We've only got one driver who's really at potential risk of getting a race ban if they use up all 12 points. But I'm sure Ollie will be on his best behaviour, sitting on 10 points. And I think he'd probably have some points due to roll over and expire sometime soon as well, I imagine, because they have a 12-month expiry on them, I think.
Yeah, but I think the majority of them are from this year,
This
so
year,
it won't
yeah.
expire till next year. So
So-
I can't recall him having any carryover points left from when he was in the Ferrari.
Yeah, good luck. Good luck, Ollie. Good luck for the next 4
Yep.
rounds. Yeah,
Keep it clean.
keep it clean.
So with that, this allows us to move on to the most important moment
most
of
important
the
championship.
podcast, which is the Downshift Prediction Championship. Now, with this, we've got Happy, who's leading the race at 41 points, followed by myself at 40, Lockie at 36, and Schwags at 19. So as we've been going through, we have been writing down our predictions on our bits of paper. And we'll start with Happy being in pole position.
All right.
Have these been
yes.
written down,
I haven't written-
pre-validated,
I haven't written mine down because I don't have to.
am I
in the safe?
supposed to have written mine down, or
No,
Hey.
you can copy mine if you like. It's up to you.
You thought the brown light was dodgy.
So, yeah, a tough one to pick. The weather could throw a spanner in the works, but I'm going to go Max Verstappen for pole.
Oh, hang on. Just
What?
helps if I get professional. Yep. Yep, Max
You're
Verstappen.
right.
honestly,
It's-
Christian, you've
it's-
got one job.
Take your
one
time.
job.
We are recording this,
One
mate.
job.
You can go back and listen to it again. It's all right. Max for pole, Max for the win, and second place Lando, and third place Oscar. I feel dirty. I really want Oscar to win, but I
How do
just
you
think
sleep at night?
I think
How do you
Max
sleep at night?
Max and Lando's form at the moment are looking pretty solid. So yeah, they're my top three and my pole position.
Look, Schwags, you make a really good point.
In that, are you writing Oscar off for the year?
No, like I'm
You still
Yes,
got
he
hope.
is.
I would
Yes, he is.
I would love an Australian to win the Formula One World Championship. And
Then why don't you back him for Poland to get
I
first?
really hope
Instead,
he
you put him in
doesn't.
third.
But at the moment, my championship battle is to win the predictions here. So
Yeah.
I'm
So you're throwing Oscar under the bus.
And that's what ChatGTP told him to put his predictions.
No, I have not used AI. I have my own methodology, which seems to be working quite well. I am leading at the moment. We'll see how we go after this weekend.
Oscar winning this year, is that a fairy tale? Like, is that a fairy tale story for him to win the championship this year? And he's third season,
It's a
fourth
fairy
season
tale
of
for
Formula One?
anyone, but for him to
Oscar,
win
for
F3,
Australia.
F2, and then within 3 years
Right.
take out the F1 World Championship. Oh my God! What are
So
the odds?
it's a fairly big
incredible.
ask, then, isn't it? It's yeah. So look, if it doesn't happen, he gave it a good stab, didn't he? You know, so and he'll come back next year fighting, and
I think
know,
his
live and learn and
reputation would be up there in the top 5 or 6 drivers in F1. Like he's a very, very well regarded driver. So hasn't hurt his chances for a career at all. But yeah, it would be
No.
amazing if he could win it.
of course,
His progression has been phenomenal. So it's to be drivers' championship leader after only 3 years. Amazing. His teammate is 5 years for Lando. So
Yeah, we can't write. Look, we're not giving Lando a lot of credit because we're obviously some Oscar fans here, but Lando's driven
Well,
very, very well.
3 of us are.
for the last few seasons as well, and battling against Max at the same time. Like so, McLaren have put up an incredible fight over the last 2 seasons. So yeah, let's see how it goes. The last 4 rounds are going to be pretty exciting, that's for sure.
yeah, definitely.
All right.
All right,
Well,
Casey, you're up.
So to your point, guys, and this is where I get to take the moral high ground, and so this could destroy me.
This doesn't happen very often. by
This
the
is
way.
more cringy than
Moral.
this is more cringy than a sprint
Moral.
race. Oh my god!
But this is where this could be an absolute, to your point, fairy tale story, or it could destroy my chances in the championship. So
Right.
Come on,
Oh,
destroy
this
it.
is your fairy tale story.
this is my fairy tale
Oh.
story.
Oh, I see. Right, sorry.
So, like Happy, I've got Max for pole, but I've got Oscar for first. I've got Charles for second, and George for third.
So can I ask what's
Okay,
going to happen to
that's
Max
a
in the race?
shake-up.
Max and Lando are going to come a gutser.
Oh, okay.
So
All right.
Didn't you say that last week?
yes.
All right, clip that,
I'm-
that audio,
what-
clip that prediction. Let's see what happens.
What is it? I'm evoking the race finish.
You're trying to manifest.
So for anyone
Manifest it,
that's watching
right.
this on YouTube, if you see some strange lips moving that don't look in sync with the graphics, that we may have edited these predictions retrospectively.
To clarify, Christian thinks Max and Lando are going to take each other out. All right.
Okay.
Do you know what? If Oscar wins and you win our predictions, if Oscar wins a world championship and you beat me in our predictions, you can have the victory, mate, because I would be so happy that Oscar wins the world title. That would be my preference. But if Oscar doesn't win the world title, I will cry myself to sleep if you beat me in predictions.
Happy, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. That's very gracious of you.
So regular Sunday night then.
Too much about our personal lives, Dan. Too much about the personal life.
What about you, Locke?
So from crying ourselves to sleep, we'll go over to Lockie.
Doesn't happen in my household. That's fine.
No, you just drink yourself to
so-
sleep. Too soon.
That's
We
what
can
we do
edit
in
that
real
out.
estate, mate. What we do in real estate. So no, I will sort of follow the trend that I do believe that based on last year and his experience on it, I think Max will definitely take pole position. I do think also that him and Lando are not going to take each other out, so I feel that he will then cruise on to victory as well. But unlike the un-Australian sitting in there in his house there, I am going to say that Piastri is going to have a better weekend and he is going to come second this weekend.
Let's hope he does.
And he's
Yep.
going to follow it in by Lando coming third.
Okay.
Let's hope he does. If he does, you're
I'm
going to
gonna
gain
try
some
and back
points
him
on me.
in, like, you know.
Yep.
Although
All
I know 36 behind, isn't he? Won't help.
It's
Won't
not going to help a lot, but
Max.
I know you narrow the gap.
But it'll put Oscar back in front. All right.
I'm just saying
Are
that
you
because
done
it's a
with-
dry
with that?
track, so I think they've got a better chance as opposed to a wet track.
Very good. All right. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Something different. So Charles is going to take pole.
Oh,
Well, he's not. But that's
Well,
what I'm saying.
that could be his engagement present.
Yeah. Congratulations. No, that might be. Well, you're right. You're right there. Maybe the drivers go, you can have this one, Charles. Congratulations.
Oh, hey,
Well, the
driven
broadcasters
by
are
Well,
love.
drivers do that all the time. They're
I
like,
mean-
no, you take the win. I don't want it. It's fine.
It's better
And
than
then
a
they-
toaster.
I'll get to cut to his girlfriend, fiance, sorry, a few more times. So
Imagine that.
be
Slash
very
model.
happy.
Oh,
Slash
and the
model.
dog.
Oh, yeah,
All
don't
right,
forget.
and
yeah,
so-
Leo.
okay.
And the winner
So
is,
who's gonna
Dan. The
win?
winner is
Who's going to win?
Lando?
Lando.
Lando. Ooh,
Lando's
that's,
gonna win it.
that's a decent pick from the hat.
That is a
That's-
decent pick.
First time. First
This
time
could be
for
your
everything, isn't
comeback,
it?
Schwags.
All right, second place.
Charles is coming in. Where am I?
Okay,
well, if you
yeah,
start
drop
in
one
pole,
spot.
and come
From
second.
pole
That's
to
all right.
second,
That's
You
all right.
should.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
look,
the Magic Hat's doing all right
He'll be
tonight.
on a high.
Yeah.
He'll be on a
Yeah.
high.
All right.
And
So
rounding
I
up the
should pick
podium
out
Give me a
here.
cup of tea.
And Max for third. So that's actually not a terrible.
That's not
That's a-
terrible.
Decent
Won't
effort
get
from the
me
Magic Hat.
anywhere near.
To be fair, I reckon your
Championship leader or
predictions
anything
are
like
going to be
that,
better than what Christian's are. So you could have a good weekend. Dan.
I reckon they're your best predictions from the season.
I've
possible.
waited till the end.
That's
We're just.
possible.
I'm getting that little uptick at the end here. It's all happening.
It's the
Dan,
late
this is-
charge.
This is your
Late
inaugural
charge, yeah.
season, Dan. You're just warming through this season, and then you're
Ah,
going to take charge
yeah.
next season and go. That's how it's going to
Yep.
work.
Just lulling
Just
you
been
all in
waiting
a
for
false
new
sense of security. So
regulations.
next year we're going to put some better. There'll be some bigger rewards next year.
Yeah, there'll
I'm
actually
just
be a prize
sharking you
next
for
year.
next year.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
You wait.
I love that
wait.
you think there's rewards this year.
Oh,
Mate,
spending time with you guys is
So-
reward, is
well,
enough.
no
What are we doing?
expectation. The bar is low. I'm not expecting much.
It might be a card. It's fine.
All right. Well, with one episode this week as we prepare for the San Paulo Grand Prix in Brazil, we draw ever closer to the pointy end of the championship for the drivers and all the other teams apart from McLaren. So, will we see anything else, guys? What are you looking forward to for the race?
Some really good racing as the top three figure out what's going to happen.
I'd like to see some serious overtakes this time and actually a bit more challenged on the track on that. So it keeps us more entertained that way.
Yeah, if it rains, that would probably happen. But if it's dry, unfortunately, I don't think it will. I just want to see if Oscar can narrow the gap, or not narrow the gap, narrow the performance
1
gap
point.
that he's had to Lando and get back on top. I think that would be an awesome way to go into the last 3 rounds for my favourite Australian driver. Go Oscar.
Go on.
So it's a juice from the Downshift team. Join us next week as God or only Zach Brown knows what the result will be from the Brazilian Grand Prix. Until then, we'll see you on the next lap.